The legend of the Candyman, as portrayed in the horror movie series, is a chilling narrative that intertwines urban legend with supernatural horror. The Candyman is a vengeful spirit, often depicted as the ghost of an African-American man who was brutally murdered in the past for a forbidden interracial love affair. Summoned by daring individuals who repeat his name 5 times into a mirror, the Candyman legend is more than just a tale of terror. It's a reflection on societal issues like racism and lynching, while also exploring themes of fear and folklore. The significance of the Candyman legend lies in its ability to encapsulate societal anxieties and its commentary on historical injustices, making it not just a scary story, but a culturally and socially charged narrative. By invoking the painful history of racism and exploring the intersection of fear and myth, the Candyman becomes a tool for examining the past while engaging with the contemporary audiences through the horror genre. Two specific examples that illustrate this point can be found in both the original 1992 film and its 2021 remake. In the original film, the legend ties directly to the cultural landscape of urban Chicago, particularly the Cabrini Green housing project, where the intersection of folklore and the real-life challenges of systemic racism and economic disparity are made evident. The 2021 remake takes this further by explicitly addressing gentrification, acting as a modern commentary on how communities and stories are shaped by societal changes. Opinions that support the importance of this legend suggest that horror films like The Candyman can serve as powerful vehicles for social commentary, using fear as a lens through which audiences can confront uncomfortable truths about history and society. This approach allows the story to resonate beyond mere entertainment, highlighting its potential to spark dialogue and reflection. However, the legend is not without its challenges and controversies. Some critics argue that by blending horror with sensitive historical issues, there is a risk of trivializing real historical atrocities for the sake of entertainment. Others suggest that the supernatural elements could overshadow the important social commentary intended by the story. The Candyman legend connects deeply with other aspects of folklore by demonstrating how urban legends serve as a form of collective memory, often rooted in real societal fears and injustices. It influences the horror genre by emphasizing moral and social dimensions, creating a narrative that is both terrifying and thought-provoking, bridging the gap between legend and societal reflection, and enriching the horror landscape with depth and meaning. The origins of the Candyman myth can be traced back to several interwoven strands of folklore, urban legends, and societal fears that have persisted over the decades. At its core, the Candyman is a supernatural figure who embodies the intersection of fear and fascination with the unknown, often portrayed as a vengeful spirit or a wronged individual returning to exact revenge. The mythos of the Candyman has its roots in stories that warn against invoking the name of a malevolent entity, a reflection of our fascination with the power of words and the supernatural consequences they might evoke. This concept is significant to the main topic as it underpins the narrative and thematic elements of the Candyman horror movie. It provides a rich tapestry of fear that connects with audiences on multiple levels, from the primal fear of the dark and the unknown to more nuanced fears of societal injustice and the consequences of forgotten historical wrongs. The myth is a lens through which the film explores themes of retribution, race, and the power of belief. Real-world examples that illustrate the origins of the Candyman myth include urban legends like Bloody Mary, where the act of calling a spirit's name in a mirror can summon them, and stories of spirits like La Llorona, who haunts the living to avenge personal tragedies. These legends speak to a universal human fear of summoning forces beyond our understanding and losing control over the barrier between the living and the dead. Opinions supporting the significance of such myths highlight their role in addressing societal issues by providing metaphorical narratives that allow audiences to engage with difficult topics in a compelling way. Mythical storytelling can serve as both a cautionary tale and a means of processing communal traumas. However, challenges and controversies exist, particularly regarding the portrayal of cultural and racial issues. Some critics argue that these stories, including the Candyman, can perpetuate stereotypes or exploit sensitive subjects for entertainment. This highlights the need for thoughtful storytelling that respects the complexities of the issues it seeks to explore. The origins of the Candyman myth influence other aspects of the main topic by contextualizing the fear and horror within a framework of historical and cultural resonance. This enriches the movie's narrative, providing depth and authenticity to its scares, and making the Candyman not just a figure of terror, but a symbol of stories left untold and voices long silenced. The influence of urban legends on horror is a fascinating interplay between folklore and the cinematic imagination, where tales whispered in darkened rooms become the blueprint for our scariest nightmares on screen. Urban legends are modern folklore that often feature mysterious events or figures linked to societal fears or anxieties. These stories are passed along through word of mouth, gaining credibility and momentum as they evolve. In the context of the horror genre, urban legends serve as a wellspring of inspiration, infusing films with a sense of authenticity and immediacy that amplifies their terror. When discussing The Candyman, the significance of urban legends is paramount. The film's narrative draws heavily from the urban myth of a hook-handed killer who can be summoned by repeating his name in a mirror. This legend creates a direct line to the primal fear of summoning something unknown and horrific simply through belief and repetition, which is a common thread in many urban legends. By tapping into these shared cultural stories, horror films like The Candyman resonate on a deeper psychological level, making the fear feel personal and pervasive. Consider, for instance, the Bloody Mary legend, which mirrors the summoning aspect of the Candyman and is a common dare among children, blurring the lines between myth and reality. Similarly, the Hookman legend, which tells of a killer with a hook who preys on couples in parked cars, directly embodies the idea of an unstoppable, predatory force lurking just beyond our safe spaces. These examples highlight how urban legends not only influence horror narratives, but also reflect cultural fears, transforming them into visceral cinematic experiences. Supporters of this idea argue that urban legends grant horror movies a framework that not only terrifies but also fascinates. The legends imbue the films with a sense of shared history and cultural context, making them more relatable and impactful. Some, however, challenge this notion, arguing that relying too heavily on existing legends can stifle creativity and lead to repetitive storytelling. For critics suggest that the adaptation of folklore into horror may sometimes sensationalize real fears or traumas, overlooking the original meanings of the legends. Nonetheless, the influence of urban legends on horror is undeniably profound, informing everything from plot devices to character archetypes. This connection enhances the cultural relevance of films like The Candyman, ensuring that they continue to captivate and haunt, reflecting societal fears back to audiences in a compelling, albeit terrifying, mirror. Narrative themes and motifs in The Candyman play a crucial role in shaping the film's horror and psychological depth. At its core, the movie explores themes of urban legend, systemic racism, and the power of belief, woven together to create a chilling atmosphere that transcends traditional horror. The concept of urban legend is pivotal to the film's narrative, as it examines how such stories can permeate societal consciousness and manifest into reality through collective belief. This theme is significant because it underscores the idea that fear and superstition can gain power through communal perception, ultimately blurring the lines between myth and reality. A notable example of this is the legend of Candyman himself, a vengeful spirit who appears when his name is chanted 5 times in the mirror. This legend serves as a vehicle to explore deeper societal issues, such as racial injustice and violence. The film cleverly uses Candyman as a manifestation of historical pain and suffering, representing the ghosts of those wronged by systemic oppression. Another example is the setting of the Cabrini Green Housing Project, a real-world location infamous for its crime and poverty, which highlights the racial and social themes at play. By setting the horror within this environment, the film comments on the neglect and marginalization experienced by Black communities. Supporters of these interpretations argue that the film transcends simple horror by offering a profound commentary on race and society. Critics have praised the film for its ability to intertwine scares with social critique, making it both thought-provoking and unsettling. However, some challenges arise in the portrayal of violence and its potential impact on perpetuating stereotypes. Controversy surrounds the depiction of fear within Black communities, with some arguing that it reinforces negative perceptions rather than combating them. Despite these challenges, the themes and motifs in The Candyman are integral to understanding the cultural and social narratives that inform the legend. They connect to broader aspects of horror by emphasizing that true fear often stems from real-world issues rather than supernatural elements alone. This connection enhances the film's impact, allowing it to resonate with audiences on multiple levels. In doing so, The Candyman not only entertains, but also provokes a deeper reflection on the myths we create and the truths they uncover in our society.